this, I would love for you to join me as I welcome the Chief of Staff to Mr. President, Mr. Faith Olaniyi, as he takes us through our creed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Emanuela. I just want to confirm if it's just me that is seeing this on my screen. The content of this meeting has been sent to a third party. Am I the only one seeing this on my screen?
I didn't see such.
Okay. Okay, so let's just go right to it. Thank you so much again, Emanuela, always looking elegant and beautiful. And of course, always giving us the smooth, moderation. Thank you so much. And of course, thank you so much, Mr. President, for the opportunity. And I can see our guest in already, Mr. Dustin. It's good to see you. And of course, it's good to see everybody. Without wasting much time, I would like to, just go straight ahead to the creed. But before I go to the creed, I would like to say that if you're here and you're not yet an active member of Africa's Young Entrepreneurs Organization, then you're doing something not right. You're not yet professional. Actually, I can say that boldly because that's what we've been learning, right? And there is so much joy you enjoy, right, being one. And to do that, kindly visit the link that is in the chat to become a member and have access to so much benefit. At AYE, we create a platform that helps every entrepreneur harness their full potential, right? So please ensure you be a member today. Right, now back to our creed. If you're just joining us for the first time, the creed is a word of affirmation in our organization that we say every time. It is a pledge that we recite, and to some of us, it is even more like a prayer. I see a lot of people, before they start their day at work, they first recite a lot of testimonies that happens the year on. Right, having said that, I'll just go to showing us the symbol of the creed. Now, so when we take the creed, we put our hands together like this, like a fist. Right, so we put our hands together like a fist, to symbolize oneness, to symbolize unity. And that is how we actually, take the creed. So what happens is then I would say the creed, the first line, right? So whatever I say, you recite after me, right? That's very simple. That's very easy. So I'll call on Emanuela to join me. And of course, someone else too can also join me. All right. I am an African young entrepreneur.
I am an African young entrepreneur.
I believe in Africa.
I believe in Africa.
I am in love with Africa.
I am in love with Africa.
And I will prosper in Africa. I am proud of Africa and I will prosper in Africa.
I am proud of Africa and I will prosper in Africa.
I am an African for a purpose, and for that purpose do I live.
I am an African for a purpose, and for that purpose do I live.
I believe in the development of our great continent.
I believe in the development of our great continent.
I solemnly promise to uphold the vision, values, and goals of Africa's Young Entrepreneurs Organization.
I solemnly promise to uphold the vision, values, and goals of Africa's Young Entrepreneurs Organization.
Promise to love and support my fellow Africans.
I promise to love and support my fellow Africans.
I promise to promote a united Africa everywhere I go.
I promise to promote a united Africa everywhere I go.
Because I believe that.
Because I believe that.
You can achieve this much alone.
How much more can we achieve together?
step into the sun. There is more to see than can ever be seen, more to do than can ever be done. Ooh, there is far too much to take in here, more to find they can never be found. But the sun rolling high through the sapphire sky keeps great and small on the endless round. It's the circle of God, and it moves us all through the spirit pole, faith and love, till we find a place on that path unwinding in the circle
Yes. Welcome back. It's definitely a circle that connects each and every one of us as African brothers and sisters. And of course, like I always say, we are in love with Africa and we are proud to be Africans. And of course, we are also proud to identify with a community such as AYE, which is bringing like-minded entrepreneurs from all across the continent of Africa together in one space every Saturday by 6 p.m. GMT +1. And of course, this is a community where entrepreneurs come to learn, come to interact, come to do so many amazing and explosive things. And a lot of testimonies have been birthed from this organization. All right, so speaking about testimonies, it is time for us to take our business testimonials, all right? So for people who are just joining us here for the first time, if you're not familiar with the business testimonials, basically what we do is we give you an opportunity to share anything good that has happened to you in the course of the week in your business, anything exciting basically which you would want to come and share with us, maybe the teaching of Mr. President which has impacted your life, which has impacted your business, and you want to come and share with us. We always allow you to be able to do that. And of course, every first Saturday of the month, we allow you to do it real time. So you come up here and you share your testimonies with us real time. However, subsequent Saturdays, all we need you to do is send in your testimonies to the email address, which will be dropped in the chat room for you. All you need to do is send your testimonies right there. And of course, we will be here to read out your testimonies for you. Thank you so much. All right, so speaking of testimonies, I'll just be reading a few testimonies that I have here that was previously sent to our email address, all right? So I have a couple of them here, but to save time, I'm just going to be reading two of them. So the first testimony reads, "Hello, everyone. It has been amazing being part of the assembly for a while now, and no Saturday has been a waste of time. All I have to say is I'm glad to be part of this amazing family, and I pray we keep increasing and expanding." This is from Benjamin from Cameroon. Thank you so much, Benjamin. Let's give him our AY clap. Thank you so much. Happy, more than happy, in fact, to have you as part of us. All right, so I'll read the second testimony right away, and it reads, "My first time at the assembly was last Saturday, and to my surprise, what I saw and heard was mind-blowing. I couldn't help but say, God bless the founder of such a community as this. The connection between everyone was so strong, and the teaching on the dying minute by Dr. Sumi pushed me to accomplishing a long-time task a few days ago. I was greatly inspired, and that fueled my passion to do more. There is no doubt 2024 is a great year already for everyone here." That is from Franklin from Canada. Thank you so much, Franklin. Let's give him my AY clap. Yes, we absolutely agree with Franklin. 2024 is definitely going to be an amazing year for each and every one of us here in the assembly. Why? Because we have been fueling ourselves. Like he said, he has been fueled. So we have been fueling ourselves with a lot of knowledge, with a lot, all the instruments we need to attack 2024 with the most. All right. So yes, definitely we agree with him when he says 2024 is going to be a really, really great year. Thank you so much, everyone who shared their testimony with us here today. All right. So without wasting too much time, we know that we have an amazing, amazing guest here today. And of course, I've already mentioned him earlier, and I'm sure each and every one of you is anxious, curious to know, who is this guest? Why am I hyping him so much? I mean, he is definitely worth the hype, and you will find out shortly. So in order to introduce our guest, I mean, I would have loved to do it myself, but seeing that our president, Dr. Sumi Smart-Francis, is present here in the room, I think it would be best for me to hand over to him so that he can do the proper introductions. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Sumi Smart-Francis as he introduces our guest speaker for today. Thank you.
Yes, I had to wait for permission to be unmuted because I was disconnected. This life, never plan evil ahead. Do your evil on point. Don't plan it ahead. I was planning to embarrass my chief of staff when he was laughing at his system saying the third party is watching. I wanted to say your girlfriend has hacked you to watch everything that you are doing. So I was planning to laugh at him. All of a sudden, the power in my house just crashed. Wi-Fi disconnected, no power. Everything just dismantled me. Right now, my assistants are running at a skater. They're trying to find power. What is in front of me? If I tell you, you guys are going to be laughing just to put some light on my face. I'm sweating, no air conditioning. But they are working behind the scenes to make sure that within some few minutes, I get back home. But COS, I am sorry for trying to laugh at you. I never knew that my own issues will befall me. I feel so pained already. But notwithstanding, I will still say what I need to say since you have also hacked my entire electrical system in my house. You see the way you're making me sweat. Your girlfriend hacked your laptop, and that is the reason why the third party is seeing everything you're doing. So be careful with the messages you send on WhatsApp and every other thing. But I need this power pack because this session is going to be very, very different. I saw Mr. Sini in the room, the CEO of the Entrepreneurship Village. You're welcome. Mr. Sini got back to Nigeria. Yeah, thumbs up, thumbs up. Let me spotlight you. Please, guys, make me an admin back. Okay, thank you. You've made me an admin. Welcome back. Welcome back to Nigeria. Welcome back. You see the way Mr. Sini arrived to Nigeria. It looks like Nigeria was his home. He's so used to Nigeria. The smile on his face and everything. We hope that you enjoyed your visit back to your home in India and connect back to your old friends and family. Thank you so much, everyone. What else? What else? This is a powerful one, an extremely powerful one. Honestly, it's not just, I posted something just about a few minutes ago. I said, if you understand the topic, you will understand how sensitive it is for you to be in, your team members, your staff, your employees, your colleagues, your partners, and your family members. You will understand this room. So I'm going to give you guys probably 1 minute. If there's somebody you need to remember, personal branding is you. Without it, then what are you? You know, you're just a person without an identity. I can see you're on your way to failure. I'm sorry to say that because nobody's going to feel the impact of what you are. Gone are the days where you are successful in the silent world. No, in a silent way. It doesn't happen like that anymore. It's a digital world, it's a social media world, it's an influential world that without any branding around who you are, nobody knows you. You can as well forget about what you're doing. And again, what makes it interesting is the speaker. Man, he's one of our board members, somebody I respect so much, and it's not just a person who is here to give us that professional coin, God personal branding, but he's also a personal brand. Like, he's a good example for a major brand. If you look at him, you would understand, what I mean by a brand himself. And all over the world, his influence is felt. The kind of network that he has across the world powerful. If you have such a person in your network, I tell you for a fact that you are blessed to have someone like him be speaking to us today. You know, he's the CEO and also the creative director of Blockboss. He's been on Forbes, is listed on Forbes, listed on many global magazines. He has one of the biggest magazines as well in Monaco. You know, Monaco, the city of wealth. I think it's called Monaco Voice and stuff. There's many things around our guest today, and I am as excited as you are. And that is the reason why I'm not giving him the mic. Yes, let me build up the tempo more in you guys' in you guys' blood. So do not take what I said for granted. If you've got a team member, a staff, your PA, your EA, whoever needs to understand personal branding, let them come in, because this is the last guest for 2023. And I was having a conversation earlier today, and we said that if you miss professionalism in 2023 and you're a member of AYE, and you've been part of this session weekly every Saturday, I can as well say that you have lost a full year. Honestly, if you miss what organization this year is our year of professionalism, and this is our last guest speaker for this year. So what is going to be discussing with us is extremely powerful. You miss it, you've lost it, and there's nothing we cannot bring back the year because of you. So please, very important, take it seriously. I give you 1 more minute. Call that wife of yours, that husband of yours, that do not even understand how to wake up looking proper, how to go out looking proper, how to somebody that feels nonchalant about everything, somebody that thinks, so if you dress too much, then you are overdoing it. Somebody that you have been trying to educate about personal brand. And I warn you that what you may listen here, you might wish that somebody else heard it. So I give 1 more minute. Hit me right now with some very subtle sound. Let our guest still say it, and he's so pumped up, he's got his mic unmuted already. But I do not want somebody to miss it. I do not want somebody to miss it. So take that chat, admin, drop it. We are live. Drop it in your family group. If you've got a company, drop it. We are live, and say, Sir Dustin. This is not Mr. Dustin. Sir Dustin Blackhoff. He was knighted. So there's a powerhouse in the house. Drop it, and let's bring it some more people. It's a 1 minute. Me, DJ, light it up.
Don't care what they yarning about me in particular. Call me. Out here on the road chasing my dream because I know I'm chasing for me. Ololola de mango molo, orokoto idisho molo. If you want to let Jack come alone, you can find anybody na money I want. Not they hear what the people they love. Want to get a shakeleti love. This is love and I wanna get another one. I go take and do waiting I love, waiting you love. Oh, maybe waiting I love. Oh, waiting I love. I go do one without my heart. Oh, go no be vodka. Mr. Money Ginger, but when I know the ways that Mr. Money Ginger. Just carry on, if you no time. Bad boy day, me I day fine, and at the same time, me I day high. But to the top, stand out, calm down, you go day fine, like fine wine, no decline. Sick about it, extraordinary things. Show me love, I go show you more. Ubo sheshe, I'ma eat don't take ya, she dey kill move for fire, yeah. Lola de mango molo, orokoto idisho molo. If you want to let Jack come alone, you can find anybody na money I want. But they hear what the people they love. Want to get a shakeleti love. This is love and I wanna get another one. I go take and do waiting I love, waiting you love. Oh, baby waiting I love. Oh, waiting I love. I go without my heart.
Yes, I see you are joining me. Thank you very much.
I know the ways that Mr. Money Ginger.
Thank you very much. That's right. We're ready to roll. We are so ready to roll. Ladies and gentlemen, with all that is in me. You see now, some people can join in. If you are just joining in right now, like somebody just sent you something and you clicked, you are blessed. You are so blessed, you have no idea. Can you believe we waited for you? Why? Destiny found you today. It was destined for you to listen to what we are about to hear. And he said to you, you are welcome. Guys, with great pleasure and with all humility inside of me, is to bring on the stage our board member, one of the E-Village directors, Sir Dustin, who is the founder of Blockboss is a crypto giant. I don't want to say some things in his profile because is part of the conversations. That's to show how powerful his brand is. But honestly speaking, let me talk to him, then you will understand who he is. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll bring up on stage with all the AYE loves and reaction with us. Let us bring up on stage Sir Dustin Plantoff. Come on, man. Show the brother some love. Give him the clap.
I am without words, Mr. President. So thank you for that very warm introduction. And I get very emotional. So you guys here and ladies that are listening in, I like to speak from the heart. I think that's how we connect. I've never been someone that believes you connect on strengths, because I meet some of the most truly unique, one-of-a-kind individuals in the world that have accomplished and done things that probably would take me 10 lifetimes. I tend to believe that we connect on weaknesses of stories and using challenges. Today, we're going to talk about branding, but that really gets to begin by getting to know yourself, who you are. So, Mr. President, I don't know how we're supposed to start this thing, but I literally love you. You've become my brother. You've become a mentor to me in certain areas of my life. So thank you for being someone that I can count on.
Thank you. Look at the brand in his voice. Jeez, man. Did you hear the brand in his voice? Did you hear the brand in his look? No wonder he was knighted in different aspects of his life with several awards in different mega industries. Now, I'll start this conversation. Now, you guys are wondering what's happening. I'm not going to let him just speak, because if I allow him just speak, goosebumps might throw me, and I don't know what's going to happen. I want to have a conversation. I want to interact with his intelligence. I want to flow in his knowledge and embrace his wisdom. So right now, I'll be chatting with him to get the flow. One, where I want to start with is the Count of Monte Cristo. Now, the Cristo.
Monte Crypto. Get it right, Mr. President. It's Monte Crypto, not to be confused with Monte Cristo. And that's what I'm saying now. I'm starting
with the Count of Monte Cristo. Wow. The movie was one of my favorite movie ever. Like, it's
exceptional. It's really, really good.
There's a question in there. When I saw Count of Monte Crypto on your profile, boy, oh boy, did I not go crazy? Like, who the hell talks of brand into a brand? And that's the first question I want to ask you. What do we take from something powerful and infuse into ourselves? When we look at Nike and we say impossible is nothing, and then we carry that character and put on our brand. When we look at a movie and pick up that identity with a lead to it. Tell us a bit about that.
All right, I like where you went there. So when we talk about impossibility, you look at it and say, well, the odds are stacked against me. So how can this guy Dustin be able to tell me anything that could potentially help me in my life? I will tell you, I wasn't born. I know you've given me a lot of cool titles, Mr. President. I'm just Dustin to the handful of friends that I have around the world. But I didn't start by having all of this. I didn't. I was the kid that was cleaning the tables. I was the busboy. I was the one that people didn't recognize. I was just the one that cleaned up the stuff at the restaurant. And I can promise you, you don't want to work in an Italian restaurant. They don't always treat you that well. But my earlier days were spent in some sort of dysfunction. You know, we all have some level of dysfunction. People like to complain about their lives and say, well, you can't understand. You don't know what it's like. When I was little, my mother left the family. Now, I'm not a volunteer victim, and this isn't going to be today as we talk about branding, about feeling bad for yourself. It's going to require you to realize that your story is not as unique as you think it is. I went into the foster care system because my dad made some very bad decisions. He made decisions that he thought at the time were to protect his family or to help his family. So what happens in life when the odds are stacked against you? How do you build a brand? Well, it's going to be a journey. My journey started off pretty simple. It was bussing tables. I realized quite quick that I had to make it happen, that the world and life wasn't going to be fair. I was going to look at people on TV. I was going to look at people in magazines like Forbes. I was 14 years old, Mr. President. It's kind of weird saying Mr. President, so I'll just call you Sammy. But Mr. President, I was 14 years old. I had just made some money by shoveling snow. I had a business, and I know I don't in certain parts of the world it doesn't snow, but in certain parts of the world it does. But there was snow outside, and I had this shovel. I was a young kid, and I realized, well, I have a shovel. Somebody has snow in their walkway. So I went house to house. Hi, my name is Dustin. I got a shovel. You got snow. And just like that, a little hobby created a business. That's the thing. Hobbies can become your career. Starting off as I was just shoveling snow. I was raking leaves. I was cleaning tables. From there, I knew that I had this unique gift. Well, if you can clean tables, then you can listen. So I like books, the books that you see here behind me. I love to read, and I don't read at the education level of academia. I didn't. I was the dropout of college. I just didn't get it. I barely made it through high school. I just couldn't understand. I wasn't like everybody else. It was hard for my brain to capture it. But the things I was good at, I really was good at it. And listening and following directions, as my mentor, Mr. Holyfield, says, follow directions, because there are clues in those directions, right? There's a person I interviewed in my career. His name is Dan Pena, and I wouldn't look him up. He might offend you, but I'm at the stage where you can't offend me anymore. And this comes down to brand. You got to get to know you. Who are you? Are you someone who's easily offended? Well, that's going to be a problem, because you're going to be around people that are going to offend, and they're not going to offend you intentionally. It could be cultural differences. It could be they were raised by wolves. I mean, we've all met people, right, that are a little bit unique and different from the way we are. But branding is going to come down to your story. Looking back, Steve Jobs says, you don't connect it by looking forward. You connect dots by looking backwards. So looking behind you, brand. Okay, I clean tables. Check. I can listen. I can follow directions. This is the process. This is how you fold a napkin. Those are clues to help you, because if you can't do the small things, Mr. President, that you're never going to be prepared for the big things. I've been on now some rather large stages globally. It started off as me on a microphone with one person tuning in. One. I wasn't performing on stage. I was just talking to one guest. Hi, my name is, what's your name, and tell me your story. So I would tell you that if I were to give you a task of the day, it would be, what are you learning? Who are you learning from? And you need to start each day with that task completed. All right, so my task each day was get up, clean my face, shave, look presentable, because I will tell you this, people in fact do judge books by their covers. There are some of the world's greatest works that have never been read because the cover, well, it's been read by some, but it hasn't been read by most. And the people changing the world, well, they're typically what? The 5%? You ask about brand. I had to decide what I wanted, Mr. President. So I went from cleaning tables to computers are interesting. I want to learn about computers. And so, like anybody who is open to learning and asking questions, I went to a company and said, do you have any positions for sales? The company was called Best Buy. Now they're in the United States. They're a rather large electronic chain. And they said, we do not have somebody right now, a position open for selling computers. Well, I was a 15-year-old kid. I was bummed. What do you mean? I want to know about computers. We do have a job for someone that can stock DVDs. You will have to put the DVDs on the shelf. Okay, so I don't get that job. No, you're going to have to earn that job. You know the old saying, Mr. President, everybody wants to go to heaven. Nobody wants to die. You want this, you want it all. You want to be in great shape, but you're not going to the gym. So it comes down to the mindset. I had to have a mindset. My mindset was, okay, I'm going to have to earn that spot in that computer division to sell computers. They got paid the most money. I'm going to be the best guy at putting DVDs on the shelf. If someone buys one, I'm the guy like a ninja. There's a new one right there. first one in. I was the first one to arrive on my shift. Each and every time I arrived in my uniform. Yes, I had a uniform. Some might say I looked silly. Well, to me, I was proud. It meant I'd have a job. It meant I could actually have my own money, because money gives freedom. It doesn't give happiness. Never confuse the two. So building my brand started with getting to know customers, getting to know people. What did they like? What DVDs were selling? I was taking notes. All right, some people like scary movies. That's not me. I don't like to be afraid. Mr. President, I don't know. Do you like scary movies?
Not really.
There you go. Good. So we're in the same. Some people like to laugh. I'm in the laugh category. Getting to
That's
know
good.
me. I like to be in the laughter category. I'm like, as I tell my family, I'm like a clown sent to earth to entertain them. It's like, that's my role. Now, externally to the rest of the world, I'm obviously a different sort of person. So I end up getting the job in the DVD department. And then they said, we have an opening, but the opening means you're going to have to work late at night. Okay. I hate to tell you this, but there always will be a cost. You want the better job. You want more money. You have to be willing to commit more hours. It's a higher level. So at that point, I said, what are the hours? And they said, you're going to come in at 4 p.m. and you're going to stay till 10 or 11 every single night, 5 nights a week. And you're going to work weekends. What? Well, weekends is when most customers come in. That meant I couldn't be out with my friends. Success leaves clues. I accepted the job. I followed the rules. See, that's the thing, Mr. President. You know this regarding building your brand. You don't get a lot of mistakes. You don't. You don't get a lot of forgiveness, because there will always be someone else that wants your job. There will always be someone else that is willing to do the things that you are not willing to do. At this point, I realized, wow, I have a unique gift. And that is, I'm starting to build relationships with people. Someone came up to me one day after they bought a computer from me, and this is where I wanted you to write this down. Activity creates activity. Activity, good quality activity. Giving your business card out. It creates activity. But making sure it's simple. What do you do? I sell computers. Someone came up to me and said, you know, my company has an open position for somebody that can sell insurance. Huh? But I only know about computers. From that point, I had to go to a bunch of books. And I'm not someone who liked to study. I like to read books, but I wasn't someone who liked to study. If you want to go to that next level in your brand, it's going to require you to have the heart of a learner. Are you a knower or are you a learner? I learned along the way that there is so much I don't know. But when you put yourself around wise men, and equally wise women too, it's at that point as an entrepreneur, as a person, you start to gain true knowledge and true wisdom. And I do believe that knowledge is generational wealth. I mean, Africa is one of the greatest continents in the world, one of the greatest nations truly in the world. Look what it has created. It was the beginning. It still has such a significant role in this world with some of the most beautiful minds that I truly have ever met, with some of the most beautiful hearts, that there's trust. You have individuals that are willing to bring you into their homes. And that's the part about your brand. You know, they say birds of a feather flock together. It's kind of like the animal kingdom. Certain animals, they do what? They all stay together in their own packs. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Dan Pena says that. There's a lot of truth to it. Look about the people who you're associating with. Are you associating with people like Dr. Sami? Or is your group of people that are holding you back? So my brand started to change. I started to realize that it was important to get to know me. Who were the people I wanted to be around? Because success left these clues. I wanted to be around people, quite candidly, that wanted to become the better version of themselves. So becoming a brand is going to start with you getting to know, identifying who you are. Are you someone that likes to laugh? Are you somebody that's down? Because I've learned that in relationships, moodies always have this unique way of going after non-moodies in any relationship, business or personal. So when you are the moody, you're going to attract a happy person. But when you are somebody that has a light inside of you, be careful. Because in business, what happens is you're going to meet a lot of people, and people are going to drain your brand. You are your brand. That is the true wealth, because it's going to be with you. We call it what? The dash. It's the years in between. The brand of the Titanic, the year it sunk was 1912. Think about that brand. This was a ship that was created to never sink. It wasn't supposed to sink. It was unsinkable. It was a vessel of the greatest minds in the world. But here's what they did wrong. At the helm of the ship, or the captain of the ship, had to make a decision. If we get there faster, we'll impress everybody. Everyone will be more thankful. But the ship wasn't prepared. Why? It was never designed to hit an iceberg head on. I will tell you about your brand. Until you are at the point, you are not prepared for that next level. So if you're level 2 right now, focus on level 3. Don't focus from level 2 to all the way being on TV, national rock star, having a large corporation with $1 million. Start low. I create goals. What if I could create a business that had $1,000 in sales? Wouldn't that be remarkable? That there were customers out there that saw my idea. It is relationship based. So I go into the world of insurance and I realize that I was good at connecting people. So if you're like me, you're a great connector. You're just good at connecting people. Then maybe part of your brand is as a connector, finding out, but it's going to start with you listening to people. Hey, what do you need? What do you have? Some people were never designed to be CEOs. They just weren't. But there are people whose dreams it was to be a CEO. So bring in the CEO to your idea. There are certain people with their brand that they had an incredible brand. Joe Foster being one of them. You don't know the name Joe Foster, but you do know the name of his company. It's called Reebok. He's the founder of Reebok. Think about Nike. Reebok was their biggest competitor. People don't know his name, but they know the brand. He sold shoes. Now it's clothing and all things around the world. He is truly one of the most humble human beings I've met, with one of the biggest brands globally. And I asked him, how'd you do it? He said, one shoe at a time. So going back to your own goal of developing and creating you, it really is one day at a time, but have goals set up that you want to get to. So, Mr. President, you and I have had a number of conversations, and I know one of the things that I really appreciate about you is that your heart is this ministry towards others, that you want more for others than they want for themselves. That is, I call it, part of your story or part of your brand. Mine is now at this stage of figuring out how to help entrepreneurs, how to have people that have that idea sitting on that shelf. I call it collecting dust. How do they get it out of their head? So where I am in the journey today, I created a company called BlockBuzz. If you remember Blockbuster, it was actually a really cool store at one point where you can get DVD rentals. But BlockBuzz, where I help people, I help companies take their ideas and turn them into reality, because entrepreneurship is going to require a recipe. There's a recipe for all of it. I saw the video here that you guys played early on. And to me, I love these steps. Step 1 is to start each day with your task completed. Start it, finish it. One email, a resume. It could be meeting one new person, of somebody that you can learn from. Step number 2 is accepting your story, but looking back and learning from it. It's those times of reflection. And then where I look at today is how do I take what I have? And regardless of what some may think when they think about my brand or they see me on stage, they think I have a lot. I know people Google my name and they'll ask for like net worth. It's really weird. I don't have that. That's just never been me. There are certain successful CEOs that have made, I'm like, congratulations. There's a word in Hindi. It is called Jugaad, Jugaad. And I encourage you to write it down. And it's a word that says, if you lack resources, to be resourceful. All right, what do I have? Not what do I don't have? Because the challenges you're going to face, I will tell you this, you have those tools literally everywhere around you. There are clues to how to accomplish it. In terms of clothing, I'm 40 years old, and 1 year ago, I finally had the access and some resources to have custom suits made for me. That wasn't my career. I was the one that was buying used suits or slightly discounted suits. It didn't become where it is today. And I want you to see that with anyone that you perceive as having a major brand, it didn't just begin with that. I'm very close to a musician. His name is Akon. You might have heard of him. He's not very well known. And people see him at these major clubs and stadiums. It didn't begin like that. It began as a hobby. He was just someone that had a talent. So with that, Mr. President, I'm going to hand it back to you. I think I lost somewhere along the line what the question was.
And we were not planning to stop it because one of the things that I was able to make everyone see was the brand new that came out through storytelling. Every one of us was so interested in what you were saying. No one was looking at time anymore. No one was looking at question anymore. And that was why I said that when I'm introducing him, you would understand from how he speaks or how he carries his brand, who he is. And you can all just pick up that how he brings out his brand through storytelling and how, not just what he was saying, but how you were interested in what he was saying. Have you noticed that he speaks in a way that you want to hear more? That is another brand on itself. That's another trick on itself. And honestly speaking, you said quite a lot. I picked in a lot from building a brand in the journey. You spoke about reading. You spoke about sales. You spoke about creating a brand. You have to have a mode of operation. And you said it's going to really cost us. There has to be a lot of activities that create activities that ends up creating the brand. You also said we should flock together, birds of same feathers. They do flock together. So communities where you can grow, community where they are the same kind of brand, communities where they're chasing the same dreams could really, really help. And one of the things that touched me was when you said people will drain your brand. I'm a victim of that, and I complain about it. But right now, I know it's something I need to celebrate. That thank God we even have a brand that people can feed from. And I'm so shocked that you have met me and you can diagnose my life and lifestyle in such a simple sentence. Now I'm scared of you. Anyway, there's a couple of things that you said, and I think I also love the fact where you said you've learned so much that you don't know much. You've learned that you don't know much during your course of learning. One of the parts again that stood out was judging books by its cover. Of course, in Africa it's worse. It's the cover or nothing. Actually, we actually buy books in Africa just because of the cover as a deco in the house. So nice cover, we keep it in there. So part of many things that I picked out from what you said, and I really, really love it. But I'm gonna do this again. And I think you've been able to touch it because you went around that story, and the question was basically, how do I take a brand that is existing, a payoff line that is existing, and then rewrite it to make it my own? Without Count of Monte Crypto. So do you want to take 2 minutes of that, because we want that we are going to the next question.
So it's a great question, how I got the name, the Count of Monte Crypto. I was Dustin. I still am Dustin, just for those tuning in. I had agreed to do an event with the founder of Forbes Monaco and help him do an event on cryptocurrency. with a charitable component to it. And I realized, quite frankly, that I had never been on a stage before. I had been on small stages, but I had never been in Monaco on this. And what a scary opportunity to now be at a place where I'm being invited to come speak to a room of truly some of the wealthiest people in the world. And believe it or not, most of them earned it $1 at a time. I know we get to hear stories of those that were born into privilege and born into opportunity, but most successful people, they earned it. And they have a story that goes behind it as well. So after this event, it was a success in every way. I gave it all I had, because I will tell you this, all it takes is all you got. That's all it takes. I only agree to do things I know I will do. I don't promise, I deliver. I told him, and he is someone that is a dear friend of mine. His name's Luis. I said, Luis, I will bring some really interesting speakers. I will deliver on stage my part. I will give you all I have. I don't have a lot of money, not even close. But what I do have is relationships. I'll connect you to them. And the day, I remember, I was beyond nervous, that something happened that I was prepared for it, because I didn't realize, when you've been the busboy, when no one sees you, well, at this point, I'm looking beyond people. I'm just talking. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Monaco. I'm Dustin Planolt. Today, we're going to walk you through that I had done a series of shows and podcasts that no one was paying me for. I just had people to come on and tell their story. But you think now today, and I will tell you today, I am a paid podcaster. I'm incredibly proud that I have incredible sponsors, Root Brands. But that's not why I did it. I was just curious to learn from others. How did you succeed? Because maybe some of that success will rub off on me. I wanted to get to know their story. So here it was, the end of the event. I'm going to assume the person was an oligarch. Says to me, "You're like the Count of Monte Cristo." I wish I can tell you that the name was created by something incredibly like a mad genius, or it wasn't. The next day, Luis, I love him. I hope he tunes in and hears this at some point. "Partner, I got a new name for you. You will be called the Count of Monte Cristo. And I will put you on the cover as a senior editor for Forbes." I was crying. I was the foster kid in my earliest years of memories. I was the one cleaning tables. I was the one putting DVDs on a shelf and cutting my hand with boxes. I was the one asking people, "Hey, do you need help with insurance?" I was the one starting a podcast where my first guest was my pastor that wanted to adopt my sister and I when we were in foster care. And now here I was being given this incredible opportunity, becoming surreal, Mr. President, to be honest with you. This was November 2021. And it was like God himself said, "Look, I know it seems crazy, but I'm rewarding you." Because something happens after a while. The universe, God, whatever you believe in, will reward you with a little luck. I know it's when you're in that storm, you can't see it. I had storms around me before this. And not all storms will come to block your path. Many of the storms you'll face in your career and your personal life will come to actually clear it. You just have to stay in it long enough to realize when that storm passes, boy, you're stronger. You know how to make sure, you know exactly what's going to happen to some degree. All right, there's going to be some water. There's going to be some wind. There's going to be a storm. And so that's how I got the name of the Count of Monte Cristo in Forbes magazine. I was given a title. I was given a title that is forever. It's funny. My son says, "You're the Count of Monte Cristo." I'm like, I know, that's pretty dang cool, isn't it? I say, "You're the son of the Count of Monte Cristo."
Thank you so much. I was really, really curious to that. And funny how the renaming of a man can attract the right men into his life. You know, I saw every goddamn thing on your profile, but Count of Monte Crypto stood out for me because I'm also a creative knucklehead. And that was like, how did they put that together? Now, tonight, hear that you didn't put it, and somebody just identified you in that manner, feels that we got to respect. You know, I see when you said, what do you learn from? You know, and what are you learning? You know, it's possible that you look at that and you be like, you know, it's fine, but you took it, you grab it, and you ran with it. And people in that voice I know as well. I don't know if Tim is in the room. He's one of our elders here. Tim is in the US. And the first time I had a meeting with Tim, that was the same voice with that very croaky voice he gave me. And it's like, yeah, you're like the Wizard of Oz. And your name from now is the Wizard of Oz. Myself and my chief of staff, we're like, oh, Wizard of Oz. Okay, let's go watch the movie again. Let's go find out why he called me the Wizard of Oz. So maybe right now, I'm going to go add Wizard of Oz into my profile so that somebody else can find me the way I found you. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've got two more questions, and these two questions, you got to give me the answers in packages, tiny packages in very short time. Now, the first question is, now, how do you use your brand in your favor? In favor, in this case, I think let's make it numbers, money. Everybody loves money. Everybody wants to. You've seen the storytelling. You converted it to being a podcast. You moderated the biggest events in the world. You connected to the right people across the world. You built your right network. But a lot of us are in this room. We've got this talent. We've got this hobby. We've got this passion. We've got this brand in us, but we have not been able to convert it. Sir Dustin, please tell us.
Well, look,
what is
if
the
you're
conversion?
asking someone, because there are plenty of people out there that have found a way to actually make like money by people's standards. I'm not that guy. And I don't think my opinion that wealth is the true success of an individual. I think it comes down to knowing, what do you want? What do you want? And not what does Mr. President want, or what do you want? And I don't know if you've really thought of that, because I can tell you it's hit me a number of times. Like, what do I want? Because what you want isn't always what you need. They're two separate things. We all will suffer from some sort of self-sabotaging type behavior. We all have them. Something will be there that just seems to sabotage things. It's typically your mindset. There are some external factors that are contributing to some sort of self-sabotaging behaviors. But my mindset is, what do I actually need? Not what do I want? Okay, what do I need? I need a house. I need a house. Okay. Goal is get a house. Well, how do I get a house? I have to have money. Okay. How much? I don't need a mansion. I just need a house. My definition, or how I define things, isn't by the aspect of money. And I know people that pure goal, one more dollar, one more dollar. Mine has always been how I could do something that is ultimately going to impact others for the better. How can I create an ecosystem and monetize that ecosystem? You know, that's the goal. So I know that for people that are here tuning in, I know they want me to give them like that one secret ingredient. I would tell you it's relationships. And then stop talking and listen. And then chime in, what are they learning today? Because successful people, if you just ask them, what are you learning today? They'll sum up 10,000 hours for you. They're learning this. Excellent. Then you can go study that. How do you do that? Google's become my best friend. Go on Google. Ask Google a question. Hey, Google, what do you think? Google, tell me more about this. So if it is, I want to make money, define success. You know, I sold a company back in June. I started this media company called Life's Tough Media 2 years ago with my wife, or 2.5 years ago with my wife. And it was just a hobby. It was just a podcast. And there wasn't revenue behind it. You see, not everything you're going to do to create your brand is going to pay you. I'm very sorry to tell you that. You're going to have to devote time. And I know some of the world's, and I now advise some very, very successful people around the world in their own brands. And even they pay to play still. There are some things you're going to get for free, and there's other things you're going to have to work your butt off for it. So I built a media company on one podcast at a time. It became a series of podcasters. It wasn't just about me. That company got acquired back in June. And what I learned through that process was branding. I created a brand, Life's Tough Media. Sometimes you have this idea in your head. Come up with, what's the name? Give it life. Talk to it. Its name is Bob. Its name is Siri. Its name is Alexa. What is that? That is how you're going to create. So I'm going to use my fancy cell phone here. I always envisioned as a creative, this is how Steve Jobs saw the world. And I'm asking you to see the world a little bit through this lens too, with your idea. Steve Jobs is super excited. He runs into a board meeting or walks into a board meeting, whatever Steve used to do, I don't know. And he shows them what they see to be his hand, and it's just a hand. And he's describing, do you see it? The back, it's incredible. He sees an iPhone. They see a hand. That's it. There are certain people in life, they have to have a prototype to believe you. They have to have a prototype to believe in you. Build a prototype. If you are not an artist, go find somebody in your backyard that is an artist. You just helped another hobbyist start a career. In your circle, there will be people that have strengths. I don't know what your favorite meal is, but I promise you it was a recipe. There were ingredients, many, many, many ingredients. Your favorite meal, what goes into it? Okay, 7 ingredients, 9 ingredients, 12 ingredients. Well, I can tell you that's going to be your pathway to success in your personal brand, professional brand, however you look at it. There's ingredients. Defining what those ingredients need to be, because it's a different taste, maybe it's a different touch, different elements. Some people like texture that is sharp in their mouth. Some people like things that are very smooth. But it starts with you. You got to know what you want. Me, I'm always having this perspective of learning, and I'm willing to pivot. Okay, media, that's cool. Film, that's interesting. But I do it one step at a time, knowing ultimately it's going to be a lot of steps, and I'm not going to quit, and I'm not going to give up, because I know that's the path I'm expected to be on.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I must confess, my brother, and I hope you do forgive me for this, that question was a trap. Yes, it was a trap. And it was a trap because I wanted to see if it is true. If it is true that to create a brand, you don't chase the money, you chase the identity. And in the quest of you trying to chase the money, your mind will be focused on the money and what you want to get out of it. And then you miss the brand. But if you want to create that identity, in this case where you said, what do you want from this? Forget about the money, forget about what do you want to be known for? With this item, with this thing you are doing, what do you want to be known for? Do you want to be the best public speaker? Do you want to be the best sport manager? Do you want to be the first fashion designer? Do you want to be the best moderator? What do you want to be known for is different from how much you want to make from what you're known for. And the moment you focus on the identity of what you want to be known for, then money just comes by itself, by the way. Brother, from today, I give up on my money chase because I've heard it 1, 2, 3 times. So I took it to a sir. It's okay, let me trick him and put him on a scale and see if I can trap him. Well, Sir Dustin himself still went back to the reality that to create a brand, entrepreneurs from all over the world joining us, forget about the money right now. Just completely forget about it. If you so concentrated in the brand, you will have forgotten about the profit that should come with it. And all that energy and mentality, that ideology, that thinking will be put on that concentration will be on the brand. And guess what? Money makes itself with or without you. When the right process is there, when the right standard is there, it just keeps growing. This person knows you, another person recommends you, another person recommends you, another person. Before you know it, like what he said, he never knew. And he just like, okay, for me to speak in Monaco, I used to have years of podcasts. I used to talk for free in Austin event. I used to speak. So he never really thought about all those things until those things spoke for him. So accumulate the experience and the resources that will translate to your money. But please do not concentrate on that money-making endeavor. concentrate on the brand. So Dustin, you've been such a blessing. But how do I let you go without? Go
I
ahead.
love that. I love that, what you just said there. It's not to focus on the money. Become obsessed with your brand. You got to become obsessed with it. It literally has to be the thing each and every day that you go, my brand matters. Who you're associating with, what's getting your attention, because I hate to tell you this, is that we're running out of time. You don't have enough of it. And Mr. President, you're the old man, I know, compared to me at 40. But I recognize that too. So and if you want a book to read, his name is Eric Weir, and the book is called Who's Eating Your Pie? It's a great book about who's getting your time. So I would highly suggest that you add that to your Goodreads of that and relationships. There's another book as well. It is not out yet. It's coming out by Professor Karen Faulkner. It's called Relationships. She's a relationship coach. It's a great book on building relationships, personal relationships, professional relationships, because that's what is going to be required if you want to have a brand of excellence. It's getting to know yourself and who is going to be in your community.
True. Thank you very much, Sir Dustin. But how do I let you go without taking one more? I know we are so close out of it, but I want to ask a favor that you please just give me the answer, if possible, to this question in 1 minute, because I cannot let you go without this question.
All right, I'll talk forever. Point taken. I know. I'll talk forever.
Okay. The question is as simple as it sounds. I know there are people here. I'm sure there's a phobia like that. I'm going to have to look it up, but there is a phobia like that. So let me just ask the question. How do you meet people? As simple as that. How do you network? What is the simplest way?
Yeah, that's good, because I am not a people person. I hate to tell you that. I am one of these weirdos that if I could just choose to be in a box by myself, I'm like, yeah, I'll just do that. I'll hang out with me. I make it a requirement. And I don't go to places to meet people that I know I'm going to smell like smoke. Well, I do love cigars. I go to meet people at places that they're there to learn. Because the heart of a learner is a really beautiful thing. You have people that are at a stage, it could be a library. I love libraries. In my earliest days, before I could afford to buy books, I was in a library. And there is a gentleman, Gene Simmons, who I admire, a businessman. People know him as being a rock and roll legend in KISS. I know him as a businessman. He's given me some of the best advice in business. And I asked him where it began for him. And he said, the library. Like the library, reading books. They were free. I didn't have money. They were free. There is so much knowledge right now at your fingertips that is free, that doesn't cost anything, not $1, but it does cost your time. So where I would go, or where do I go? I don't go to the library anymore in that sense, but I do put myself around wise men and wise women. I tune into assemblies like this, different assemblies, call them different names. And I'm the one usually on mute, just listening. I'm the one taking notes. And then I go to events that are ideal for me, not a waste of my time, not a waste of my precious money. Having kids, actually, yes, it's expensive. But I know that, Mr. President, you're working on something special for next year, where you're going to be bringing hearts in from around the globe to the Entrepreneurship Village. It's attending that. And by doing that, it's a major step. You know, the old saying, how do you eat a whale? One bite at a time. That's the step. Sign up. Sign up for something you can look forward to. And then you can come with, here's my company. It doesn't matter if you have any customers. You have a mindset. Here's my brand. I sell shoes. I sell used I don't know. I sell used tires. I sell used watches. I sell iPhones. I sold computers. I sold DVDs. I sold websites. Now, as a creative, where I am at my stage, I help entrepreneurs that are struggling, that have a lack of resources, perhaps, or maybe it's the mindset, and they just need a little bit of extra focus. So I would encourage you to focus.
Hmm.
And through that, asking others like Mr. Sumi and others, I think at that moment you get clarity. So I know I'll talk forever. I get told I'll talk forever. Hopefully I answered the question.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know, looking at the hands in the room, these guys are going to choke me or strangle me if I say I cannot take their questions. But that's how it is. Knowledge is scarce and expensive. I also have questions. Who cares
It's
about the question?
power. Knowledge is power.
I'm also fighting for
It
my
really
questions
is.
together. No, thank you. Thank you so much. This is so powerful. You know, the heart of a learner is a beautiful place. Sir Dustin Palantoff. Watch out for those quotes. We're going to publish them on your behalf and send them
Thank
to
you.
you. It doesn't matter if you don't have customers. What matters is the fact that you've got a mindset. These are beautiful statements from you, you know, and
Oh
that's
man,
so
you're going to
touching.
give me like, you're going to like blow up my social media, dude. I need you. I'm going to hire you. Thank you for this.
That's the brand. I'm a copy king. I'm a copycat. I create words and I play with them. So, beautiful statements from you that, you know, has opened up our mind. You say you just want to, you know, your identity now is helping mindset, shifting mindset, and you have done absolutely that tonight. You've helped us. You've reshaped our mindset. You've pushed us to things we did not know, things we took for granted. You have no idea how people take for granted assemblies like this, or I take for granted learning communities, a mind of a learner, because a learner, and I never looked at it that way. Now I understand why there are some rooms I go into and I connect easily. That's because everybody came in with the mind of, yes, let's learn from one another. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sadost. I love that. And the fact that you started by saying, I'm an introvert. So gone are the days where everybody saying, no, I don't talk, I'm quiet, I'm shy. That is who he is. That is who I am. But because we realize that we live in a world that you have to be out there, we had to like force systems around us to help us come out of our shell. Attending events like this, reading books, connecting to people, and that is what helped him. Sir Dustin, I cannot thank you enough, you know, on behalf of Africa, Mama Africa, and on behalf of entrepreneurs from all over the continent and those across the continent, across the world rather. We want to say a big thank you. You want to show Sir Dustin some love. Let's give him so much love. I don't think he's going to get this much love we're going to give him. Let's show him. He has never gotten this virtual love before. See, Sir Dustin, check your screen and see the number of love. Oh my God, coming from different parts of the world. Show me any other place that has given you so much love at the same time from different parts of the world. We love you. You've touched our heart. You've touched our mind, and you have impacted our soul to move our body and spirit to the next step. Now, the question is, you've been in this room, in this community. What do you think about what we're doing? What's your thoughts about Africa's Young Entrepreneurs, about AYE, and about the community, this Entrepreneurs Assembly? Share with us your feedback. Thank you.
I see a room full of hearts. When I started my podcast called Life's Tough, You Can Be Tougher, it was never to be Joe Rogan. I'm not Joe Rogan, or name your favorite. It was about connecting with one heart. Because if you can do that, then that person who's on their frequency, on your frequency, will connect with another heart and will connect with another heart. So what I see here is a group of learners, people that now have heard me go on and on. I know I can talk forever. For a while now. But I see people that they love life. The fact you showed up today tells me you love life. There are people who checked out yesterday and the day before yesterday and the day before yesterday, and I call them the walking dead. And they're not on this call. The people here are very much alive. And I see people here that have hope. They say that hope is one of the last things to leave you. I see a group of people that truly know that they were sent here for a purpose. The purpose of life, I heard years ago, Mr. President, was that the purpose of life was to find your gift, to develop that gift, to give it away. And that's all I've ever done. I just knew that my gift was, I'm the introvert that has this unique way of connecting people. Hey, I'm Dustin. Me too. Yeah, I don't know anybody here. Me either. It's kind of weird, right? Hey, what's your name? Where are you from? Tell me your story. That's how I started a podcast. I had no experience in journalism. What is your name? My name's Sumi. I'm Dustin. It is nice to meet you. Where are you from, Sumi? I'm from Africa. I'm from the United States, but my ancestors were from Scotland. Tell me your story. Mr. President, you have about 4 hours for us to go through this together. Now give me like the 2 minutes. All right, give you the Reader's Digest. My name is Dustin. I'm a journalist. I'm a dad. I'm a father. I'm a husband. He goes, me too. And I go, and I'm 40 years old, man. He goes, dude, you're a young buck. Wait till you hit 41. So get out of your comfort zone. Go meet people. Here's my name. Or ask them. And then sit back and take notes. I take so many notes. I was taking notes here. I love taking notes. I take a notepad with me. My brain is really smart in certain things, but in others, it just can't retain. Some things, absolutely. You have 5 seconds on average by the time the idea hits your head to write it down, or you will forget it. 5 seconds. If you do not have a piece of paper, you probably have a phone. Write down notes in your phone. And then set yourself calendar reminders to come back to it. You know, setting a reminder is big. You can afford an executive assistant. What? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Your phone is your assistant. Think about that. You have a technology device right now that'll tell you Thursday at 3 p.m., you got to go do this. I make sure that the invite is an hour earlier or 30 minutes earlier. I get there before everybody else does. I show up before everybody else shows up. Why? I'm like, I'm on time. They go, you're early. I'm like, oh, I'm on time. And I'm going to leave you with this quote. Admiral McRaven said it. He said, start each day with a task completed. To find someone to help you through life. To know that life is not fair and that you'll fail often. But if you take risk and you step up when the times are toughest and you face down your bullies, then if you do this, then this generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than the one we have today. And what would have started here, this assembly in Africa, will indeed have changed the world for the better. That is to this day one of the most impactful quotes that I have ever heard another human being said, because it started simply, start each day with a task completed. That is what, if I could give you something to build your brand, start with a task. All right, Operation Build My Brand. What's the recipe?
Thank you so much. It's been an amazing time with you. Start each day with a task. This room is a lot of love, a lot of people connected to the appetite for knowledge. And there's no better remark that you've gotten this year than what you've just heard. I'm so happy. And find someone that helps you get through life. It can be rough and tough out there. This is touching. You know, there was something that happened to me recently, and I want to grab that statement you made. And I was thinking, there's this thing about me that I've always been so strong. You know, I do it by myself, and I get it done. And it dawned on me that Sumi Smart Francis, no matter who you are, you've got to find someone to help you get through life. And, you know, I was intentional about that, and I began to see results. So I know we have this self-reliance and self-confidence in who we are, but there's some times where in becoming that brand that we desire, there is a brand that was destined to create your brand. That would be my closing note. Find that brand, connect to that brand, and that brand will be helping you just because that's their own brand in helping you find yourself, like Sir Dustin just did for us. He came here. If we were to pay him for his fees, I'm sure we're going to run off the roof. But right now, he came here for free. Why? Because he wants to ship mindset. He wants to help entrepreneurs. So by him fulfilling his brand, he has helped our brand. You know, it's a beautiful man, and a beautiful evening in Africa, great noon in the US, and morning and whatever it is in Australia and China. Thank you guys for your time. I don't want to drop this mic because I know some of you have got questions, but professionalism is keeping to time. So sometimes it's so painful, but Sir Dustin said it costs. It costs us, and staying professional is also going to be expensive. So what do we usually do? When you've got questions, send it to the admin, and we'll send it to Sir Dustin, and he would, of course, send the response. We'll forward them to you. That is the way we manage time, so that we don't run out of the time that was programmed and planned for this session. Give Sir Dustin a follow, on all his pages on LinkedIn. You're going to see him actively there. On Instagram, you'll see him, Sir Dustin Planthoff. Share his work, comment. You wanna show your appreciation to somebody. You cannot give them anything. You cannot pay for it. Support his work. In your region, in your community, share. Do not say I'm too small to share. I don't even have any follower. Nobody knows me. Why am I going to share a Oprah? Or why am I sharing a Sir Dustin that already has a name? I'll tell you something. That's what he said. It doesn't matter that if you don't have a customer, as long as you have a mindset. It's the mindset of you thinking that you can take a Sir Dustin and put him on your status and write something thankful about tonight. It's a mindset of you taking the Entrepreneurs Assembly and saying thank you for a gathering like this. It's a mindset of taking myself and writing something about me, connecting you to people like this. It's that mindset that we look at. It's not, we don't look at your 2 followers or your 3 followers, because of course we don't need it. But the fact that you can have that mindset that in your own space, you can show your appreciation, it touches us and it will move us towards you. And that's what the universe does. It brings such people to your ways again. I always say this: generosity might be done in private, but appreciation should be done in public. After this assembly, go on your status, go on your platform, say something about Sir Dustin and tag #Entrepreneurs Assembly, and tag him, tag Africa's Young Entrepreneurs, and let that positive mindset create a positive future for you. I love you all, guys. And of course, I'll take some of the key announcements for the end of the year. We've got our Christmas special coming. As we round up, we've got about 5 minutes to exit this room. Our Christmas special is coming. Do not miss it. The Touch of Red. It's an entrepreneur virtual party. It's always lovely. Bring somebody. If there's a girl you've been trying to ask out and you're struggling, use the power of network. We can all propose together for you. Together here in that assembly, we can beg her and plead with her and tell her that you really love her. And there's a guy that is not seeing how beautiful you are, bring him in and I'll tell him that he is missing a lot. So let's keep it's a fun night, fun assembly for the Christmas special. We're going to be exchanging gifts and many things. This DJ Keats is going to be live. We got Africa's virtual DJ who is going to be live playing for us. And so do not miss that assembly. And at the final closing time of the assembly, one of the last Saturdays, I am going to be declaring our watchword for 2024. Who is excited? If you get excited, let me see your thumbs up. Christopher, I see you. I hope you are not. Oh, thank God. I almost thought he was sharing the watchword for 2024. I was going to kill him. That is a secret that only stays with me till it comes out. You know what I'm saying? And I also love what Sir Dustin did. Sir Dustin also gave away the big announcement when he was speaking about what's going to happen next year. Something mega that's going to blow the entire. Listen to me carefully. World. I'm not saying Africa now. It's the biggest we've ever attempted. We are trying what no man has ever done before. And I am proud to say we've got the biggest brains across the world on this project. And it's either we get it right or we fail badly. Now, listen to this. The people that are on board are those that can never and will never want to fail. And that is why we have carefully chosen these people for such a project. So thank you, Sir Dustin, for not revealing it. Wait for the big announcement. It might come during the assembly. Those in the assembly will want to hear first and partake of it first. But the watchword for 2024 will also be coming. And that is what we'll be running through for the entire year of 2024. Stay tuned. Do not miss that watchword. Year of Professionalism has helped us. We've brought in so many speakers. I've spoken to you guys about professionalism. We've grown, we've learned. Please do not take it for granted. Do not forget those that you have learned. Go back to all these audios on YouTube, re-listen to these things, relearn so you can remind yourself and stay professional. Wear the professional garments so that by 2024, you wear a new garment on top. I promise you, by the time we get 5 years from now, we've wear a couple of clothes, a full armor of knowledge and wisdom. The lead award event is holding tomorrow. It's a conference opening holding in Akure, Ondo State. I'm going to be speaking in that conference. I'll be there live and direct. And we are one of the sponsors of that event. So they give free pass to members because we are one of the sponsors. If you are in Akure, Ondo State, jump in. I think it's 3 p.m. Admin, you can throw the chat there and you can check our page as well. You would see it. Connect there. I would like to see you there as well. And let us, just enjoy and have a good time together. On this note, we have come to the end of today's assembly. I'm going to bring back Emanuela to give us our slogan. Now, remember, if you got a question, do not forget to send it into your admin, and we'll get the answers. Do not forget all the instructions given to you. Many listen, but not many hearts. Do not forget. Share, follow, share your expressions, like, and tag us, so that we can see the kind of mindset that you have towards what has happened today. At the same time, there's a 5 minutes of music. 5 minutes of music. Not many people have seen Sir Dustin dance before. So you're gonna experience. I don't know if it's gonna run away or stay. That's how we leave. We leave with the music, 5 minutes of music, and then we exit with that. So switch on your cameras for the music, and we get it ready. So DJ Kit, be ready, stay tuned. We're gonna go out now. Emanuela, take us out with our closing mantra.
Yes, yes, yes. You've heard it all from Mr. President. We'll be having a few more minutes so that we can dance, we can celebrate. And of course, a big thank you to Sir Dustin. I mean, it was an amazing one. Thank you so, so much. On behalf of all the entrepreneurs here today, we say a big thank you to you for coming here today and sharing from your wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much. And of course, Mr. President, thank you for that beautiful one, and also for keeping to time today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of today's session. You can all agree with me that it was an amazing one. And of course, next week, we'll be having something different. We'll be having different entrepreneurs from all across the continent of Africa come here to share also from their wealth of knowledge. They'll be having a fireside chat with Mr. President. And of course, as the name implies, it is going to be explosive. It is going to be fire. So please do not miss out on next week's session. Same place, same time. I hope to see you there. All right, so we'll be going out right now. And of course, we'll be leaving with our closing mantra. For those of us who do not know what the mantra is, so we usually is an excerpt actually from our creed. And when I say, if you can achieve this much alone, then you have to respond by saying, how much more can we achieve together? And we do this while holding our hands like this. This symbolizes unity. This symbolizes togetherness as African brothers and sisters. So if you're ready, we can go ahead with the mantra. African entrepreneurs, if you can achieve this much alone, how much more can we achieve together? Thank you so much. Have a lovely night.
You're rocking with the best. This is Africa's Young Entrepreneurs, where African entrepreneurs at home and in the diaspora come together to connect, collaborate, and build strategic partnerships. Join us now.
What am I saying? Butterflies in my tummy when the money enter me, I like it. Getting rich and it's all in the plan, my mind made it to Forbes. I buy jama for my baby, mo touch mommy, mo to rally. Soft living like a superstar. All I do is winning till no more loss. See my day, job me call. I feel like what's the rush? Can I waiting this up? Me not see no evil and I fear no one. I do the sign of the cross. But you the me don't be down. Since I'm on this same of God. I'm on a new level, Papa. I put it all on God. So when you see me smile, my brother, you for just show me love. Viviendo la vida loca. Nobody take my joy. Better make way when you see your garaya. Easy money. Too much money. Easy money. Too much money. Them no believe in my come up. I run my city, I boss up. Jeko me pay, I no want talk. You can step to me, show the escort. But to iskata, igororo. Make all the girls they go lolo. Isha Oluwa go send it to you. Isha Oluwa you can follow. All I do is winning till no more loss. See my day, job me call. I feel like what's the rush? Can I waiting this up? Me not see no evil and I fear no one. I do the sign of the cross. But you the me don't be down. Since I'm on this same of God. I'm on a new level, Papa. I put it all on God. So when you see me smile, my brother, you for just show me love. Viviendo la vida loca. Nobody take my joy. Better make way when you see
Son cœur ne connaît pas de frontières. Chez elle, on peut danser pieds nus en regardant vers la mer. Il y a en elle 10 000 couleurs. Le soleil et la terre s'invitent chez elle, c'est le bonheur. Chez Mama Africa. Chez Mama Africa. C'est là-bas que j'aime aller. Maman dit toujours la vérité. Son rire fait fuir les sombres nuages. Dieu, à ce qu'il paraît, aurait fait l'homme à son image. Chez Mama Africa. Chez Mama Africa. Chez Mama Africa. Chez Mama Africa. C'est là-bas que j'aime aller. Son cœur ne connaît pas de frontières. Chez elle, on peut danser pieds nus en regardant vers la mer. Il y a en elle 10 000 couleurs. Le soleil et la terre s'invitent chez elle, c'est le bonheur. Chez Mama Africa. Chez Mama Africa.
You're rocking with the best. This is Africa's Young Entrepreneurs, where African entrepreneurs at home and in the diaspora come together to connect, collaborate, and build strategic partnerships. Join us now